Reveal the Appeal, brought to you by BTL, the makers of Emsculpt Neo and EmFace.
Welcome back to Reveal the Appeal podcast, episode 2. We'd like to thank our sponsors, BTL Aesthetics, the makers of EmFace and Emsculpt Neo. Welcome back to our next and latest and greatest episode, where we try to get people from saying, "You're doing what?" to "Why aren't you doing it?" We talk about everything from aesthetics to wellness to anything else that's going on to help our bodies look better or feel better. My name is Josh Holden, and I'll let everybody else introduce themselves.
I'm Dr. Amanda Holden, owner of Holden Timeless Beauty in San Diego.
Justin Mobb, one half of the Cosmetic Lane, pretty privileged advocate.
Harmony from the Cosmetic Lane, better half.
Oh,
And I'm Sarah. I am an influencer and was on The Bachelor season 25.
Yay.
We love her.
we love her.
Yes.
She's blessed us with her presence today. Thank you very much.
Glad to be here. This is exciting. Congrats on the podcast.
Thank you.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Yes.
Okay.
So we start with the first segment.
Yeah.
Go ahead, health is wealth, beauty is pain. So you guys can start with what have you guys done this week to enhance your beauty or your aesthetics, and what have you guys done to enhance like your wellness and self-care.
Okay.
2 things.
I can start first. Lately, I just got done a couple weeks ago. I got pelleted, where it's testosterone pellets that help you feel better. I'm a big gym advocate. I like to go work out constantly. And I'm turning 40 in 2 days. So as I'm getting older, it's a little bit harder for me to have great workouts. Sometimes I get tired during the workout, or I feel like I'm sore for a couple days. The testosterone pellets help out amazingly with that. So that's a big one for me. I try to get it done every 6 months or so, and I've been doing it for the last 2 years, and it's helped out dramatically.
Yeah. My biggest thing is EmFace. I just completed my 4th treatment yesterday, and all the buzz has been about EmFace. We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Yes.
But it's lifted my cheeks. It's helped with my jawline. And I just already feel tighter and higher as far as my face and just more youthful. So love that treatment.
Absolutely.
I know, I love it
What
too.
about you guys?
I actually started getting my lips dissolved by Dr. Amanda Holden.
Yes.
Yeah, and honestly, everything else is just trying to relax as much as possible lately. I feel like we've been on the go so much, so trying to relax as much as I can, go to the beach.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, same here. I think we've been, kind of like going everywhere, kind of like left and right from city to city. I think I suffer from anxiety sometimes, but it's like sometimes I feel like I don't take the time to actually breathe. So I start taking like maybe 90 seconds of just like doing like breathing exercise to just kind of like hit the reset button and be able to consume my day without having to just holding my breath so much.
Yeah.
Right? So-
What was that app you use? Don't you use an app, or what was that you were telling us last time?
Meditation stuff, right? The frequency.
Oh no, that's the frequency music.
Okay.
I put that before going to bed. So
Okay.
while I sleep and I wake up,
Yeah.
it kind of like helps me have better dreams. But yeah, it's kind of
Nice.
like a
Sarah?
transformation.
That really helps. I am all about the soundscapes. It
Yes.
makes me fall asleep so easily.
Okay, there
Yeah.
you go.
I love that.
Do you have an app you use?
I just Spotify, like
Okay,
listening
Spotify.
to rain sounds, or there's like a million
Yeah.
options
Yeah.
to choose from. Yeah, but no, lately I have really been into hydrofacials and Botox, of course, all
Yes.
about the preventative
Yes.
baby
Yes.
Botox. Start young.
Yes.
But yeah, other than
Love
that,
it.
I feel like I'm right there with you guys. Go, traveling. So lately, like my self-care thing has been just really listening to my body and kind of having a day where it's just a calm day, where you don't have anything busy on your schedule. You're really just having a day just for you to sleep in if you need to take a nap, to go for a walk. And I feel like just having one of those days every couple of weeks or months or whenever you need it is so important.
So
Yes,
important. honestly.
absolutely.
Yes.
Sometimes it's hard to just take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Question. I got one quick question. When you get Botox done, does anybody ever ask you why or anything like that?
Yeah, I think actually the why not so much anymore,
Good.
especially living in LA.
Yeah.
Maybe the older generation of people,
Yeah.
like, people that are my mom's friends' age, they're like, well, why are you doing that? I haven't even done that yet. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to have wrinkles.
Maybe you should.
Hallelujah.
Yes. Yeah.
Is anybody ever shocked that you get it done? Like they're like, I can't believe, like they couldn't tell.
They're shocked because it looks natural.
Yes,
and,
exactly. Yeah.
It's not like doing something so dramatic. It's really preventative, and it's just preserving
Absolutely.
what I naturally look like.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not doing anything super different.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people think that your face is just gonna be frozen.
Yeah.
You're not gonna move. No, your face still moves. You can still raise your eyebrows.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is, right? Like they're appreciating the fact that it's so much more natural.
Yeah, I get Botox done all the time, so I'm a big believer of it. I love it when people are asking me questions because my wife runs a MedSpa, like, hey, how's that Botox thing work, or should I get it? And I'm like, I get it every 3 to 4 months, and they're like, you do? And so I think that's the biggest thing. I think people do think like you're gonna look different or odd or or I mean frozen or whatever. Like once you start getting it done, at least for me, it's addicting. Like I know right now, like I asked my wife this morning.
Last night.
I was like, hey babe, can you get me done? I mean, I'm starting to show a few wrinkles. I do.
Because
But
we've
you
been doing
notice
Botox.
it.
If you saw before he started, he already had deep creases.
had
Both
deep
of us
lines.
did.
Justin has deep
Yeah,
creases.
we're gonna see the people.
Yeah.
On the podcast.
We're gonna get after
You guys can
those.
see
We're
the
gonna get
creases
after
now.
those.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, in a few weeks, so they'll be gone.
Yeah.
This is like
That's
the only
right.
4-year-old that's still getting carded at the bar. Which is great.
Yes.
Great.
Us. I mean, yeah. So I'm a big believer. I wanted to ask you that because I mean I think some people, at least my friends, I have some friends who I'm still trying to get over to. Like you got to do it. Why wouldn't you do it? You know?
And it
They'll
doesn't
come in their
hurt.
time.
They'll
Yeah.
come in their own time.
Absolutely.
Can't force them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So let's do a little recap about the weekend, BTL, EmFace
An
events.
amazing weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so EmFace
Yes.
launch, which
Absolutely.
was crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy,
so
crazy.
we launched EmFace in LA simultaneously in Texas, and so West Coast, East Coast, and Midwest all at once, and talked about what this device does. And it's truly a revolutionary device for the entire nation that's going to transform the way we treat faces in aesthetics, because it lifts the face back up into a youthful position just through electrical facial stimulation that stimulates your muscles, makes them stronger. It's like doing a face workout, lifts your face and cheeks back up. It targets the forehead, the mid-face, and the jawline by lifting the interconnectedness of everything that goes all through here, called the platysma and the smas. So you pull your face back up, and then we can do the other things if you want them. So really incredible. I was thrilled to be a part of that Monumentous Day because it was so exciting to just have something now delivered to patients and that practices can use to completely change the game in aesthetics. So yeah, how did you guys feel?
For me, I loved learning why we need to get it done, why they came out with a device like that. I don't know if people realize how many muscles are in your face.
Yeah.
And that it's just like the rest of your body. If your muscles, if you don't work out your biceps, eventually your biceps get smaller and they don't work as well. You know, to get your facial muscles stronger, it gives you a more like solid base so that you know your face looks youthful. So I mean, just learning all the depths of how your face works. I mean, to me, I'm not a doctor. I'm not in the medical field. I'm probably the least from it. I don't even try to think about it because my wife knows everything about it. So I'm like, why do I need to know about it? So for me, yeah, it was educational. It was cool to see, and then to see someone come out with a device to do that was amazing. So yeah.
We lose 3 to 5% of our muscle mass per decade, which is really crazy to think about. So if you think about like we're born as like a full puffy sleeping bag full of all that fluff, and then we lose the muscle mass, and we also lose the other things that make the sleeping bag springy. Now giving our muscle density that boost and also that lift, like just totally game changing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
huge
no.
game changer.
So what about you?
I mean, from a marketing standpoint, I think we're on our 4th or 5th BTL conference. First of all, it really feels like a family. So many familiar faces of people that are still like,
yes.
getting this, the BTL devices, from the M-Scope Neo to the M-Fam to the M-Sellers. You know, people always gravitate towards their devices.
Yeah.
And from a marketing standpoint, like I was saying, I think the way they actually put the promotion out, you know, for the consumers and for the practitioners, and it goes on all the old platforms, the old media, so TV, magazine, and the new media as well, from TikTok, Instagram, you know, and YouTube as well. They have a whole bunch of influencers that are also brand ambassadors for the brand. So I think they're really doing a great job of putting themselves out there, and it's really appealing for both the consumers and the practitioners.
I mean, I was driving down the 405 to come here from LA, and I see this massive billboard on the side of the freeway, like EmFace.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, that's the event I'm going to this
Yeah.
weekend. It's like a
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
no,
cool.
they do a really, really good job.
Yeah.
And like, I loved my results, even though I've only done 2 so far. I was honestly all weekend long meeting so many people, that's one thing I really love about their events. I meet so many cool people from all over. That I was literally with my phone like, do you want to see the results? Literally sold it to so many people because I'm like, I actually really love my results. Only 2 so far, but that was my highlight.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so much fun.
And I think it's a great introduction to anybody who's never had anything done.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't hurt. It's 20 minutes long. You could come in here on your lunch break, get in, get out, get back to work. No one would know you came in here. And then after your 4 sessions, you start seeing. I mean, after your first session, you start seeing great results.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
it's a great thing to do when you come in. And honestly, when you get it done, when it's done and you take it off, it like cools your face. Like you feel like you just got like a facial done or something like that.
Yes.
It feels amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very interesting and like just like that weird pulsating feeling that
Yeah.
you just feel even afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah, you ready to try it?
I am.
I can't wait to
Yeah.
have you try it.
We're building it up like that. You're like, yes.
All right, let's do
Yeah,
it.
we're gonna pop those applicators on you.
Yes.
It's fun.
You'll
It's
definitely
really
be trying
exciting.
it soon.
Yeah, I love it. One question I got from a lot of people is, you know how you have like that jowling? Is that what it's called?
Jowls.
Yeah. So would this help for that?
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So the scientific words that I was throwing out earlier, the platysmal bands, that's really just our neck band. So if you flex, can anybody flex their neck? There we go. Look at that one. That's a good one. Some people can't flex. I can't really do it.
Got strong
So the
bands
platysmal
right here.
bands are connected with the upper face in the system called the SMAS. We have connective tissue all through here. So as we lift our zygomaticus, so it targets 3 muscles. I'll just say 3 muscles here. 1, 2, 3. That's interconnected with the SMAS and the lower face. It all lifts, which targets your jowls too.
Okay,
So you see a lift kind of everywhere as you're pulled back, because as we age, our faces fall like this. So we want to be pulled back. Everyone always asks me, can you just do a little bit like this? I'm like, yes, actually, now I can with EmFace. So,
Okay, awesome.
yeah.
That's good to know. Yeah, because so many people were complaining about that. They're like, I don't really see it on the rest of my face, but it's just this area that I'm noticing a lot of aging.
Yep.
So I'm like, I'm gonna find out.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the extent of the skin that you have, the skin laxity in that area, because some people, they truly just need surgery because you have so much skin laxity. But this is something that can prevent surgery, or for people that don't want to ever have a surgery, then now they keep their face youthful and they're lifting it up into that more youthful position before they add things like fillers, whether it's dermal fillers like hyaluronic acid or Sculptra. So, yeah.
Good to know.
And you can still do Botox with it on the forehead too. Yeah. Reduces your forehead wrinkles, needle free. So for those of you that don't want needles in your face, forehead wrinkles have been reduced by up to 37% in the clinical studies, just by tightening the skin in the area and lifting the muscles back up so that your skin isn't falling down.
Yeah, I love it. I
So.
mean, you could tell right away. Like, I love this part is the lift that I like. Right,
Yeah,
right up in
I do
here,
too.
right on your face,
Yeah.
your cheeks, and everything. Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
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 And so you've already done your 4 treatments, right, Josh?
Yes,
So
I've
I'm
done
like,
before. 6.
I'm like, wait, you gotta wait till you get all of that done before you go hit yourself up with the Botox.
Oh yes, yeah. No, I've gotten all 4 done. I need my Botox
Yes.
now. I'm dying to get it done. So, yeah.
All
He's
right.
ready. He's ready for both, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Enough about that amazing weekend we just have. We have a special guest in the house, Sarah from the Bachelorette. Tell us a little bit more about you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, I feel like most people probably know me from Matt James' season of The Bachelor, season 25. Super dramatic, so crazy.
Yes.
So fun to watch. That show.
Yes.
We were like fanning out on that show.
Fun to watch and just what a crazy experience. But beyond that, got my roots in journalism, broadcast, TV reporting, and anchoring. Worked for both ABC and NBC affiliates. Have my own podcast and kind of created my own personal brand and media company from that. So I feel like for being kind of young, like in my 20s, I've had so many different careers and have learned so much and just so many skills all
Yeah,
over
for
the
sure.
place. So
Extremely young
Yeah,
compared
very
to
impressive.
some of us.
but very
Yes. Very, very impressive.
So you've done reality TV once. Would you do it again?
I would. I don't know if, well, not with the end goal to, like get married because I'm in a relationship right now, but, I would because I think it is a fun portal into seeing, different careers, different
Yeah.
people, what's out there.
Yeah.
But The Bachelor was a little chaotic, so I don't think I would be going on that again.
Yeah. I feel like with reality TV and being on TV, do you ever feel like you have that pressure to look a certain way and maintain like a certain image for yourself?
I feel like it is pretty tough when you are in the public eye because it is a searing hot spotlight. Sometimes
All the time, yeah.
it can be very intense. And I think right after the show, it was kind of an interesting time because with COVID, everybody was wearing masks, so people couldn't really identify me right after the show. And that kind of helped because it is a little crazy when people are staring at you at the grocery store. And, you know
her.
like, where do I know you from? Or I get, you look like that girl from Schitt's Creek, Alexis Rose.
There you go.
I get that
There you
all
go.
the time.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. But I do love this kind of transition that we're seeing on social media of people who are just showing up, being authentic without makeup and, you know, being honest, talking about the work they've got done. And, you know, just, I feel like even a few years ago, the really popular trend on social media, it was these crazy filters and presets that you could buy that
absolutely.
would warp your pictures. So the ocean is turquoise and you're so dark orange tan. And that was like 2019. That wasn't long ago. Yeah. So I think now we're in a better place. So there is that pressure, but I really like the direction of where things are going now.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
Absolutely.
What would you say is your daily routine to like look your best on social media or with whatever you're doing on TV?
Yeah, I would say getting a lot of sleep and eating well. I feel like if I get a bad night of sleep, like the next day is awful. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
honestly.
Getting good sleep and then, you know, of course, a good skincare routine, drinking a lot of water, going outside, just making sure you're prioritizing like walks and fresh air, or some days are just so crazy there isn't any time for that, but just finding a moment to just breathe and recenter yourself. And then, like I mentioned earlier, having just a day every couple weeks where nothing is on the calendar. You're really just resting and taking that time for yourself because if you are running on empty fumes, it's not going to be a good thing.
Yeah,
So,
you're gonna burn yourself out so
Absolutely.
quickly.
totally.
Yeah, that makes sense.
How much time do you feel like you spend on social media a day since you have to keep up with your account?
That's a very good question.
Right? Because we're like
Yes.
all kind of guilty of this. And you have to because it's your kind of a career at the same time, like your brand.
Totally. I feel like there's work from home and there's work from phone. And my career is
never
work
heard
from
that.
phone.
I love that.
I mean, this is my computer. My
Yeah.
iPhone is my computer.
Yeah.
I edit all my videos on there. I mean, I'm constantly on my email. And so when I get that your screen time is, 24 hours a day, I'm like, that's right, it is. Because that is my job. But, I love it. And people say, oh my God, like you always have to be posting and editing. Like, aren't you exhausted from that? And I'm like, no, I love that, And so people that want to be influencers or on social media, you really have to be passionate about it.
100%.
Because if you're just in it for whatever, you really have to enjoy doing it. Otherwise, you're going to get burnt out so quick because it's a lot harder than people think.
Is creating content, is it kind of like when people write books or write songs, like they get writer's block? Do you get that with content? Like, is there like days you're like, I have no idea what I'm going to do today?
Yeah.
Totally. I feel like as much as you try to come up with content concepts and plan in advance, like I like to have ideas already in the pipeline so I'm not overwhelming myself. And trying to be consistent is really important. But there are days where sometimes I'll just not have any energy to be like posting stories or sharing my life. So I was thinking just a couple weeks ago, why do I feel so exhausted? And just really reflecting on that, I'm like, wow, I am sharing every single intimate detail some days about my life. And, it takes a lot of vulnerability and it can just feel exhausting to constantly be, having your phone and documenting every single moment. So just, again, going back to like setting those personal boundaries and, taking some breaks when it's needed.
As you say that, it's really kind of interesting in today's world with social media when we're used to documenting every portion of our life and we stop. Or from an outsider that doesn't do it at all, they see us documenting. Like we're really living in two different worlds because you have like the social media world and then you have your reality. And I think a lot of us that do tons of social media, we love both worlds and we see that blend because we feel like it's all just continuous. But isn't that interesting to think about that like people that don't do it at all, like they almost make fun of us, right? And people that understand it, like it's like why wouldn't we document content all the time? It's almost hard to take a break. Sometimes because you're like, oh, this would be really great content right now.
There is such a difference between the content creators and the content consumers. And it's so easy for people to be trolls on social media and say, that dance is stupid, or oh my God, I can't believe this person is sharing their skincare routine. And it's like, you're addicted to your phone and you're watching all this content that people are taking the courage to create for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's art.
It is art. So, you know, you wouldn't have these apps on TikTok or Instagram and all this content if people didn't put themselves out there in the first place for you to enjoy and consume
Yeah.
it.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I personally love it.
Yeah.
I love it too. I'm kind of over it. Honestly, I'm not as consistent because we do social for work. I find it so hard to maintain my own personal brand.
makes sense.
I've taken a step back. I barely ever post on my feed. I'm like, it's too exhausting. I do it for work and not to do it for personal. I just can't.
Well, I wonder if it's like the person who cooks, right? They're a chef at the restaurant,
Yeah.
and then when they get home, they're like, I don't want to cook. You're like, you're such a great chef. Why would you cook? But you know,
get tired of it.
I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah.
I think the thing with the sharing online, I think for me, it's mostly about like protecting your peace. You know, you have to keep in mind that not everybody wants the best for you. Some people might just be creeping, and you know, when they put that negative energy out there, you don't even know how it's going to really affect you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm very like cautious about the things that I share.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, just personal reasons.
So one of my mentors, or someone that I look at, Grant Cardone's, he always, because he gets a lot of hate and stuff, and he goes, I'm not trying to be the most liked, I'm trying to be the most known. So that's how he says he deals with a lot of people. He goes, I don't care if they like me, I just want to be the most known person out there. And it's gotten me a little bit more confident to post stuff, because if they say something bad, that's like, I just want people to say something, because you get more known. And if you sit there and go, did they like it? Did they not like it? Did they like that? Would I'd be so insecure. I'd drive me up a wall. I'd be drive me crazy. So I've got to imagine for someone who that's kind of like your career, that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
Like that's got to be hard.
It's hard to get in there too, because I'm looking at analytics, I'm looking at, you know, my audience breakdown, the demographic of women, like what cities, and you know, if I put so much effort and I'm, you know, spend, you know, a while editing a video and it just flops, I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? I'm like, sometimes the stuff that I spend no time editing blows up, and then the stuff that I put the most heart into. But you know what? Everything with the algorithm, and you know, it's always a guessing game. And to your point, the people that are going to hate, but life is too short to not put yourself out there. If you want to go do this and talk about this experience, you know, don't let anyone deprive you of that. Because exactly,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, what I love to ask people this question: what are your top 3 tips if somebody is posting on Instagram? What are the top 3 things that they should be doing?
Oh, I could think of a lot, but if I had to break it into 3, I would say video content right now is really important, because it's a lot easier to hide behind a filter or just, you know, a static photo. And I think people really want to see personality and value in content. So what you're sharing, and if you're able to speak to the camera authentically or share a video, I feel like that just, you know, the picture's worth 1,000 words, but a video is billions.
Absolutely.
What number?
So personally, do you feel that you get more engagement on the raw footage, the raw videos from you on your cell phone, or the footage that's actually getting filmed by like a professional videographer? Like, do you feel there's a difference in the engagement?
It totally depends. I think people can kind of see through the really curated stuff that is done from a professional. And so, you know, the raw stuff sometimes performs better, but it just totally depends what your niche is. But again, like going to the value part, in your videos, you are explaining and educating things and providing value to your audience. And then other things, just consistency, being really consistent. It's so hard to be disciplined, of course, like the writer's block feeling, but, you know, coming up with ideas in advance and working in advance on a schedule so that, you know, you aren't feeling the rush to film, edit, and post something in one day. That's really a lot. And then I would also just say finding your niche and being authentic to that. In the beginning, when I started out doing influencing, I would do a million different things like workout videos and, you know, food videos, and over time I kind of gravitated toward what I feel best at and what's most natural to me. So, you know, for me, I'm not out there putting makeup videos together every single day because, you know, I'm not an expert in that. And am I at the gym every single day? No, I'm not putting out, you know, workout videos all the time. But, you know, I kind of have a mesh of lifestyle, and my niche goes into other topics like caregiving and just finding your own voice that's personal, because people can see through. If you are trying to post content that isn't authentic to you, people are going to catch on really quickly.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
I was gonna say I actually really do appreciate the fact that you really do just stick to being yourself. Like we met you, and I'm like, whatever I saw on your Instagram is who you are.
Yeah.
You're not.
Thank you.
You're not just like there trying to post these trendy, fun dances just to get a bunch of like reaction. You're actually
Right.
just posting your stuff, and I like that.
Thank
And
you.
one thing, you just talked about being an advocate. So I know that you are advocating very heavily for ALS, and you also started a community.
Thank you. Yeah.
So it was a caregiver community, and I
Yeah.
thought it was actually a really great initiative because I feel like a lot of caregivers sometimes do get overlooked, and it's a lot, and it's really heavy on them. What would you say would be like tips that you would provide to somebody who is a caregiver? Like, how do they keep themselves mentally stable and sane when they're going through something so traumatic?
Yeah, thank you for asking. I think it's so important to understand what is a caregiver,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
because actually more people are caregivers than they think. You know, there are 53 million family caregivers in the U.S., and it's, you know, you think of a caregiver as somebody who shows up in blue scrubs and, you know, is a professional to care for your grandpa or something. And really, like, family caregivers can be like a mom caring for a daughter with complex special needs,
Yeah.
or, you know, caring for a sibling that has, you know, really serious mental health issues. In my case, I was caring for my dad who had ALS, and I was 19 at the time when he was diagnosed, and that just totally changed my worldview
Yeah.
about, you know, what does life mean and everything like that. And so the best thing that's happened since The Bachelor, honestly, has been connecting with these other women who
Yeah.
are saying, you know, oh my gosh, I had never before seen somebody on national television say, I'm a caregiver and this is what I went through. And so I think the piece of advice I would have is to find your community, to find a support group, to not do it alone. And that's what I found so much value in, is connecting those women together in our shared experiences and talking about the nitty gritty stuff of like,
Yeah.
what does it really mean to care for a loved one? And it's not easy, and it's hard to relate to others unless you've been there. So find your
Absolutely.
community for sure.
Okay, so do you believe in the pretty privilege?
That's such a good question. I feel like there are just so many instances in society and life right now where there are imbalances and unfairness, whether it's, you know, how much money you have, or your ability or disability, or what you look like on the outside. And I think just talking about it and recognizing it is so important. You know, I think there is such a thing as pretty privilege, but it's not fair to make assumptions, you know, based on face value, you know, with so many different things. Yeah, I think it's important to just start with character first,
Right.
rather than, you know, what's on the face value. And people can make assumptions because you look a certain way or you dress a certain way that you know, your intelligence, or if you're capable, or if you're qualified for something. And it's just typical for humans to look at someone and make a snap judgment and to think a certain way of, you know, who this person is. But yeah, I think it's good to talk about in so many aspects. That's important.
Or have you been in a situation where, let's say, you're getting invited to a specific place that is very, let's say, like bougie or whatnot, and you'd be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna go with this friend. I'm gonna pick these two people that I might not even be that close with, but I would rather just go out with them. Just
For the love?
I'm gonna say I do it. I'm thinking, all right, who are we going out with
Okay.
today? All right.
You're my hottest
I'm just
friend.
joking. I know, of
That's
course.
like more of a dating
I'm
thing,
just
right?
joking.
You're like, okay, who are my
I'm
sidekicks?
You've done it
No,
before.
I'm like,
Wow, Chuck, me
oh, hey,
asking
you staying
Josh.
home tonight, buddy? We're rolling. Yeah, we're trying to get in.
Okay, boy, to Josh.
I feel like that happens, like typical Vegas or like, you know, clubs in LA where they care so much about, you know, your looks and everything like that. And, you know, that's just, it kind of sucks because that's just how it is, especially like, you know, promoters in Vegas who are like, send me your Instagram handle, and they want to make sure like, you know, how hot you are so that they can put you in the best table. And of course, sometimes that has its perks, but then if you take a step back and you really realize like what's going on here, it feels kind of slimy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
no, most definitely.
I agree.
Yeah.
But-
That actually transitions us into the news segment.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Because
Awesome.
Bring it.
I love it.
they were actually just talking about, GQ actually did a whole article about height lengthening.
Yes.
And they were saying that people are spending between $75,000 to $150,000 just to grow an extra 3 to 6 inches. And it's all because they perceive taller people as getting more respect and being treated differently.
Tall privilege. Tall privilege.
Tall privilege.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yes.
Good thing.
Absolutely.
This guy was
Where was it when I was younger?
And aren't you like out for a year, you said? Like,
Yeah, it's like they like break your femur and like they put in like a needle. It's a crazy procedure which I don't recommend. I feel like you don't even know what's gonna happen to your
Right.
bones
I
when you're
would
Yes.
not.
aging.
Well, is it like perfected? Like, I mean, can I still, like, if I could grow a few more inches to become like a basketball player, why wouldn't I do it? Or a model? Models are tall, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you told me that, hey, everything was going to be perfect afterwards, I may consider that'd be an investment into
Bionic
my
bodies,
future.
guys. Bionic bodies.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm
They
just
said that you
playing
can't be-
devil's advocate here.
They said that you can't be athletic afterwards because
Okay.
you have these
Then
nails.
I wouldn't. Then I'm off the
Yeah,
list.
you're done.
I'm off the list. I can't move around.
I think the other thing we're being concerned is like, let's say the proportion for like legs versus arms.
Yeah.
Because if
Oh,
you get
yeah.
like
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
walking
you're
around
like-
like
short arms and
like
it's
a
weird.
T-Rex
That
or
would
something
be
like that.
weird.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very interesting, but it had a ton of conversation about it. Yeah.
On our Instagram.
Yeah, people were kind of interesting. I don't know. I just wouldn't do it. But also another thing, Instagram social media troll, I guess. 50 Cent is actually suing a MedSpa, and he's suing them because they used his image while they were promoting penis enlargements. And he was just like, guys, like, I'm not cool with anybody using my image. I took this picture with a fan, and she's now promoting her business, and that's not cool.
I hope he shuts her down.
100%.
I hope he. Yeah, like that's ridiculous.
She should have known better.
Yeah,
you
you
can't
can't
just
do
use someone's
that.
picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Permission.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're
hope
like-
he shuts her down.
You know what you're doing by putting his
Yeah.
picture there, right?
Especially
Absolutely.
promoting something like that.
No,
Yes.
No man's comfortable to go do that. Like,
Yeah.
come on, if you guys did it, would you go and post that? Hey,
Absolutely
I went-
not.
I don't think anyone would.
No, but
especially not someone like 50 Cent,
Yeah.
so high profile.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
It doesn't fit him.
no, not at all. Like I hope. Like yeah, I would be very upset. I would definitely get lawyers involved if that happened to me. So I hope he wins, and I hope he takes her for everything because that's ridiculous.
That's not the you're doing what?
No, that's
Scenario,
definitely not
and
that.
you wanna talk
That
about it,
scenario. No,
right?
that's
I don't
not.
think that will ever be talked about.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be private.
Everybody's
Yeah,
not doing that one.
Or if they are, they just probably want to keep it private.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Because it's your private.
Yeah. There you go. Yes. Yes.
Private's private. Okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, this has
All
been
right.
amazing. Thank you so much for being
Yes.
on our podcast, Sarah.
I feel honored. Thank you.
Episode
Thank you.
Thank you for having
two.
us so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been great, just having you share. And we wish you all the success.
Yes.
And
Yes.
just can't wait to see where your career goes over the next 5 years. Well, how much is it going to change?
Oh my
if you've
gosh,
already
who
done this
knows?
much.
I
I
know,
know.
I know.
The sky's the
Yes.
limit for you.
Yeah,
I love
And,
that.
Just tell everybody that, all the time.
For our audience, you can promote anything, your social
Yeah,
media.
do you wanna
handle,
promote
your
anything?
YouTube channel.
Yeah, tell them where to find you.
Well, I was going to
All
say, you could
places.
listen to my interview of Dr. Holden on my podcast,
Yes.
From Here to Where podcast, or social media. I'm at the Sarah Trott on Instagram, TikTok. SarahTrottMedia.com is my website. And yeah, if you're interested in joining my caregiver community, it's Sarah's Caregiver Community on Facebook. We have 1,000 young women who are young caregivers, and just a great way to connect with others.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love that.
So
I love that.
support
Awesome.
Sarah
Yes,
and
please.
watch all the incredible content she's creating and what she's doing in her life. We're really proud of her.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much for listening
Thank
today.
you.
Yes, thank you.
Love your appeal.
All right. There we go.
We did it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good job, guys.
Reveal the Appeal brought to you by BTL, the makers of Emsculpt Neo and EmFace.